What's up, guys? It's been a minute. Oh, John Doe says I met Lou Elizondo. I need details. You need to tell me a little bit about that story. How are we doing? Sorry, I was setting something else up. I've got a whole studio thing going on right now at the moment and been all over the place. Still am. Ugh. Anyways, now that we're here, how's everybody doing? Been a minute since I've jumped on. Nice to see your smiling faces. I met him at a speaking. Dude, that is so awesome. Like, I'm freaking jealous. February 18th, you met Lou Elizondo. Where was he at? What location? But yeah, hopefully Chicago. Dope. Was he on tour doing something? I'm curious. Was he just cruising? Yes, he was. Yeah. I have a feeling we'll be seeing a lot more of his smiling face. Just saying. Lou is the person that I know a lot of people do not like. A lot of people don't like him. A lot of people don't want to pay attention to Lou Elizondo. They don't believe him and they don't believe his story when it comes to the UFO phenomenon. That's a real bummer. Just saying. That is a real bummer. Not because he's right, maybe, but because he's the one person who can see something coming. He hinted that NHI are extraterrestrial. When did he hint that? He's been hinting a lot of things. I don't know if y'all been seeing his videos and his stories that's been spread out everywhere. Like, recently there's been a big uptick in Lou Elizondo content, from Joe Rogan to podcasts all over the place. He is a person that I'm telling you right now, you gotta watch him. You gotta watch him. He's a person that we need to pay attention to. Gotta get a little smoke in here. I don't want to go too crazy because they just installed new batteries in my fire machine. Is gonna beep and yell at me, but that's okay. Hello, happy 2025. How you doing? It's nice to see you guys. It's been a minute since I've jumped on. TikTok definitely has suppressed a lot of my views. So my videos just have not been popping off the same way, but that's okay. I'm still here, still making content, still paying close attention to the little details for you guys. And it's good to jump on and say hi and keep a close contact and catch up with you guys. Thank you so much for all those hearts. I appreciate you. Any news? You know, honestly, there hasn't been a large portion of news that's been popping off. We've got into the psionics, talking a lot about like people being able to understand reading minds and that kind of stuff in the UFO community, but it hasn't gone deep enough really to, I don't know. I feel like once it shifted from the physical UAP, Dior bags, whatever we want to call them so don't get banned. Once we've shifted from the actual objects themselves and moved into a deeper meaning of the topic, it lost so much steam. And then after TikTok did its thing where we all kind of got cut from TikTok and then we got back into TikTok, then it kind of like, I don't know if it's just me or if the algorithm changed, but like something's off. Like I'm not getting updates, I'm not getting news, I'm not getting the visibility to share out with you guys. So yeah, but that being said, as far as like any new crazy news, it's really been very interesting news. I think the news that we need to really pay attention to is stuff that like would surprise you. Like the fact that Luna is now working with a team of people that are coming out to essentially disclose information. And I know one of the topics specifically that she's looking at is UAP, and the other topics are going to be the president, I'm going to watch what I say here, but with the pew pew and you know, the other accounts that will be taking place as well, and them coming out with information is a big thing that we need to be paying attention to. So Pay close attention to that. The disclosure of the government. And I think that's a big part of it. As fun or as boring as that sounds, the government being transparent is more than just being transparent. There's a piece of a puzzle to this story. How's it going, UFOs around the world? We just got Jason Sands this Saturday on TikTok Live. What? You get to talk to Jason Sands? You're gonna have to fill me in on that one, bro. You can't keep that quiet. Which, by the way, we need to do a chat maybe this weekend at some point. I'd love to get you on and do a little chat about Victor. It's a hot topic where I still need to dive into. Yeah, he's on TikTok now, and he's live this Sunday, 8 p.m. UK time. You guys hear that? If you guys get a chance, go over and check out Jason Sands at 8 p.m. UK time this Sunday. That'll be a very interesting chat. Biggest question: what the heck is happening, or is what is happening? Biggest question: what the heck is happening, or is heck happening? Ah, that's a good question. Man, heck is happening, bro. Heck is happening. Right now, currently, a lot of it, in my personal opinion, is very chill. There hasn't been a lot of groundbreaking news, and TikTok's been slapped with a lot of, like, again, my opinion, AI is all I keep seeing on TikTok right now when it comes to the UFO phenomenon, and it's just not being spread out there. Like, the word is not, either the majority of people decided that, like, they're just completely over the topic, which very well could be, or it's just hating on the algorithm, and it's just not showing off this information. Either way could be fine, but I will say that it's just shifted. We were talking about something physical, we were talking about something that we could possibly see with their own eyes. People were capturing video footage, people were getting these things, and then all of a sudden it went to something when we learned about the egg-shaped UAP. Everything kind of shifted. We went in from learning about that to now all of a sudden there was Jake Barber, who claimed that he had this overwhelming sense of feminine energy that hit him when he was on a mission with a different object. That was to be stated. It wasn't the egg object specifically, it was apparently another object, but he said while he was en route with that other object, he had this overwhelming sensation of this feminine energy that took over, and it made him feel love and caring and all this stuff, and he said it was really interesting. And I think since that point, we've kind of moved on from the physical objects themselves to more of a psychological aspect of the UAP phenomenon, and it's still just as important, if not more important, than the first part, but I think it's a lot harder for people to comprehend, and for that reason I feel like a lot of people just dipped in the UFO community, and that's not good, because I do believe still that something is coming, some sort of disclosure moment that will be a lot more satisfying than just having a few people in the government be like, yep, we're not alone. We are not alone, that kind of thing. And that at that point is like, it's so hard for people to believe, you know, even to this day. They're like, oh, I'm still sitting around waiting for disclosure. Like, what do we need for disclosure? Because that varies from person to person. You want the government to tell you because some portion of them have. The other portion of the government still says no. That's the confusing part. Right now, again, we're in this like mixed medium of like half the government says, yeah, dude, they exist. And the other half, like the Pentagon, is like, kinda, no, they don't. But at the same time, we don't know what that is. You know what I mean? So like it's really confusing. Hi, how are you doing? It's so nice to see you guys. That's nice. I'm seeing a lot of people in the chat. How are you guys doing? Alyssa, how are you doing? Guys, smash that little heart button for me. Get those hearts fluttering. It helps spread the live a little bit. Do we think Age of Disclosure will have something new and exciting stuff, or not much? Age of Disclosure is going to be, thank you, appreciate that heart. I see them. Age of Disclosure is going to be good. I do think it's going to be good, and I think it's going to be something that we need to pay attention to, and it's going to have a heck of a lot of information. Is it going to be visible information is the key component. There is a lot of information floating around you guys right now, but you have to know how to look for it. You have to have the understanding of how to look for it, because the information's out there. It's just not on a level that can be reached by 99% of the people. Yeah, that's the best way to describe it. So, back to the story. Is the age of disclosure going to be a lot of information? I think it's going to be a lot of the same information that we've heard before. I think it's going to be repetitive. I do think one or two things are probably going to shock us. The director of this film is definitely a person we need to be paying attention to. He has worked on books with Tom DeLonge, which is very, very, very important. He also, I believe, has worked with people like Steven Spielberg. Again, very important. For those of you who don't know, Steven Spielberg currently is working on a new film. Originally, it was called The Dish, and now I think they changed it to the name of Disclosure. I'm pretty sure that was the new name of his movie. Either way, Steven Spielberg is working on something very big. And I truly believe that that man has some insider, deep information. Could just be me saying that, but I don't know if you guys have seen, what is it, Close Encounters of the Third Kind? On that movie in particular, he did work with somebody specifically from the CIA, and the interesting thing about that is the person kind of like beat Steven Spielberg up a little bit for creating UFOs, extraterrestrial life forms. He instead, and I can't think of his name, I'm sorry, I'm blanking on the dude's name, but he actually told Steven it's more so time travel. Like these people or these things are from the future. And Steven battled with him. He was like, you know, it needs to be blockbuster awesome. It needs to actually get eyes on the film. So he created them specifically wrapped around the UFO or alien phenomenon. But the movie after that happened to be something that all of us all still love, and that wraps us into the movie Back to the Future. So this man is in deep with the things, and so definitely be paying close attention to his stuff as well. But back to the age of disclosure, yes, just pay attention to the little details. Okay, the stuff's out there. You just need to really freaking pay close attention. All right, sorry. The story of Met the Greys. Oh, whoops, sorry. I've not seen that story or heard that story. I'll have to check that one out. How's everybody doing in the chat? I decided to get on here and chat with you guys because it's been a minute. I do want to do a chat this weekend too. Still, I don't know if UFOs around the world is still in here, but I do want to set up some time for him and I think sometime this weekend. I know we had been discussing it, but we want to do a live chat together too. Oh, he's still here, and he can do it on Saturday. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, we'll clock out a window. We'll plan that out for sure. Yeah, get some people involved. We'll clock out a small window and stuff and see what we can come up with. Because I think it'd be awesome, and very intrigued to see what you know about that, and I need to do some more research on it too. But you guys see that? Saturday we'll be doing a little bit of a live together. But yeah, it's been good. UFO stuff, again, in my opinion, it's been slow for the exciting stuff, but I think we're still learning about a lot of information as it comes out. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. How's everybody else been doing? You guys good? You guys finding any dirty information on the UAP or deorbag situation? It's been pretty slow on your ends. Thank you so much for smashing those hearts. You guys, appreciate you. These little hearts right here in the side corner. Love you guys for that. Appreciate you. It's how it shares the live a little bit. Whoop. You need to join more lives. That way, that's why you don't get the notifications for your lives. Yeah, I know. Dude, I really do. Yeah, I really do need to get into lives again. I know I've actually slowed down a little bit when it comes to posting. My regular jobs, my other 2 jobs have kind of gotten in the way currently for continuously posting as much as I want to. I do enjoy it. I love keeping you guys posted, but I do stay super, super busy. As far as, what was the other part that you said? The USO information. Yeah, the USO information is getting ready to probably get pretty hot. I know we've heard a little bit about it. They just have not dove in deep into that topic for some reason. Like Congress hasn't anyway. And USO is extremely interesting. We obviously all have heard, I believe, that there are some insanely large things that the Navy themselves have registered on their radar going under the ships that are give or take the size of football fields that are also moving faster than the speed of sound. I don't know if you guys have heard that or not, but that has been confirmed specifically as well by Tim Burchett and a few others. These are real claims. These are actually happening under our oceans, and our personal military, according to the United States government, states they have no idea what these are. The other confusing thing too about the things in the sky over New Jersey were the fact that for a while, the FAA claimed that they, on oath, by the way, FAA claimed that they were not sure about what these things were in the sky. And then all of a sudden, Trump and his administration came in and they had asked specifically what they were, and the information that was relayed back to them then came out to the public, and that information was stated that according to the FAA, they were a known flight. So they were registered to the FAA, and they did know of these testing flights happening over New Jersey. Take that information as you will, but that is the latest update with that. Yes, UFOs around the world, I definitely will check those out. If you want to drop those in the link, I'll go ahead and take a look at those and add them as soon as I possibly can. Yeah, again, someone says, not just in Jersey, those things are absolutely everywhere. You're right, they were. Jersey just happens to be one of the main locations that was talked about most of the time in our videos, as it kind of started there and seemed to have been a real heavy situation there. But you're right, though, they've heard about them in California, they've heard about them in parts of Minnesota, Chicago, Montana. It's literally all over. Oh, even actually Taiwan, about, I think it was almost a month ago, maybe, Taiwan, and then China just added over there too. That was interesting. So China had it on their TV broadcast, and they posted and they were like, oh my God, like, did you guys see this? Like, the United States was dealing with stuff just like this. So they posted it and shared it on their stuff, and it was very interesting. Now, I don't know what is, I feel like we're at a time as well in the UFO community and information portion of everything where we're supposed to be stupidly confused. I feel like that is a part of the plan, if you will. It sounds really dumb to think about it that way, but like if our Navy, if our government, or if our Navy and stuff can be so far ahead, like it's very easy for us to say that the United States of America's Navy or war setup is essentially at least like 5-10 years in front of us when it comes to technology. I mean, we did just see them come out with a nuclear war laser beam on one of the ships. You guys seen that? So it's pretty easy for us to say that they're pretty far ahead in technology. Why is it so hard for us to assume that the government themselves are far ahead as well in the script? Just as if a teacher comes to school prepared with a curriculum for the year, why is it hard to believe that this has not been planned out? I have heard more than one rumor. UFOs around the world might have heard the same thing, but I have heard more than one rumor going back to the early 80s and 90s, maybe even further back than that, of a planned thing, like Blue Beam per se, that essentially is supposed to roll out what we're having today. And I feel like it's all just kind of been planned out with disclosure from start to finish on how they want it to go. And yeah, I think it's kind of working in their favor, but at the same time, I don't know. I feel like we have internet, we're all talking and stuff, but I'm not sure. I don't exactly know where it's all going. I wish I did. I wish I could just be like, yeah, so this is the game plan, this is the end. But I have a really good hunch as to what's coming from this insane piece of information that we've been learning about, but I can't guarantee it. If I could give you my thoughts on what is to come in the future of the UFO phenomenon, it is the fact that we are currently going through disclosure for a specific reason. Like, we could all say, why now? Why UFOs now? Because I believe personally that they've worked on technology, they've learned to use this technology, and they have already gone through the steps to speak with all of the governments of the world. China, Russia, Ukraine, they've already done it. They've gone through, they've talked to all of them, they've okayed it with all of them, they've made sure that they're not going to use this technology against one another, but they've come to the conclusion that this technology is going to benefit humankind and needs to be released. This technology most likely is way beyond what you and I know, so we can see something like Bluetooth, for instance, and Bluetooth, we take it so for granted today because I can pick up my controller and I can play it a new song right now and it's just seamless. It just happens. But I'm taking for granted that this object is not connected to my TV. It's not connected to my PlayStation. It's running on Wi-Fi. There's no wires. There's no connection, but it works. And we just think about it. And it doesn't freak us out. But the next level of technology, whatever they're on, is gnarly. And it's going to benefit us, but they need to roll it out extremely slowly. My guess, if I had to take a guess, we're talking anti-gravity and zero-point energy. If we were to see anti-gravity in terms of seeing a monstrous brick being lifted off the ground instead of with a crane, but literally by thought, and somehow we can control this anti-gravity force essentially with mind control, probably a different better word for it, but if we can control that kind of stuff, the average person would say witchcraft. Hi, it's nice to see you guys. The average person would probably say witchcraft, and yeah, I mean, you'd think it's the devil, or you'd think it's God, or you'd think it's magic that's beyond compare. But this is actually technology. This is actually something that we've earned and learned and worked from and gotten, and we've already spoken with all the countries. And as we see it come forth, these events that are taking place, like Congress being like, look guys, woo, we're transparent. We're gonna show you what they've been hiding. That's bullshit. My guess, that is probably part of the game plan. That is probably some of the stuff they've been digging up, and they're making it feel like all this stuff is so brand new to us, and it's been learned for centuries, but it's new to us, so they're bringing it out. Like, if you really pay close attention to the UFO story, it's very, very interesting. For instance, one of the big things that came out, was it a year ago or 2 years ago, but it shook me when I learned it, and I was like, yeah, no, that's interesting. It was photosynthesis. Okay, so photosynthesis is the building blocks to what we knew as life. We grew up and understood that the sun, would give off energy to the plants, and the plants would grow, and then they would release chemicals so that we could breathe, and it was a cycle. And that was the building blocks to life as far as we knew it. But then Lou Elizondo randomly brought up in Congress when he was under oath the fact that as far as we knew, that's how it worked until recently, when we realized that there was things called dark energy, dark oxygen at the bottom of the ocean that actually was next to next to hydrothermic vents, and these little rocks could produce oxygen, and there was life at the bottom of the ocean that was like learning, that could breathe oxygen where there was no sunlight. That's something we just discovered. And I was like, yeah, no, it's not. We knew that for a minute or two, but they just brought that randomly up. And then also Harvey Loeb, I believe his name is, he randomly started finding those little circled rocks at the bottom of the ocean. You know, those like little circled things that apparently aren't from here. That was like in a Harvard paper, but that got thrown around really quick too. All this information seems to have some sort of connection and is slicing together this puzzle. But this puzzle is big. It is big. So you need to pay close attention. And if you think you're paying close enough attention, I guarantee you are not. I mean, you got to pay attention to the sights, the sounds, all of it, every little thing. Even little, like, for instance, Lou Elizondo was in a Area 52 interview the other day, and as he was talking, he said something that stuck out to me because I've been paying close attention to this topic since like for 4 years now, deep. But he said something that instantly caught me, and I was like, what? What was that? And I had to rewind it to pay close attention. And right when he said that, at the top left-hand side of the screen, it literally said hint in tiny letters. And I was like, what the fuck? Sorry, I shouldn't be cussing. I don't know who's all paying attention and watching. But these are the clues. This is planned out. I don't care. Yeah, this is planned out. I'm telling you guys, way deeper than you even know. Currently, I do have over 1.5 terabytes of data that would literally shake up the freaking internet. But this information is not supposed to be shared yet, so I'm not really sharing it yet. But I'm trying to give you hints, so pay attention. But this stuff is out there. You need to pay attention to it. Yes. Whew. Getting jacked talking about it because it's been a minute. Questions. Hit me up with the questions, you guys. What topics do we need to dive into? What did I miss? Honey, you missed a lot. You've missed a lot. You missed a little rant. I will be posting this, though, later on my YouTube channel as well, so you guys can pop over there if you guys did miss something and you do want to get caught up. Now I'm going to have to look for the hint. There's been many hints. That was just one of the few. But when I'm telling you guys you need to pay attention, man, on a level that you wouldn't believe, you need to pay attention. When I say wake up, it isn't just because I'm saying wake up. It's because you guys need to pay attention to wake up. That's what I'm saying. The information that's being delivered there is definitely a plan to what is coming. Can you bulletin point or summarize, please? Bulletin point or summarize. There's a lot going on in the UAP community. It's probably essentially planned out from like the early 1980s, 1970s. There's been this thing where they've been trying to get UFOs to be talked about specifically in Congress. There is a bunch of people who are way up top, and there's this very specific group of people who are pushing this forward for very good reasons. My guess personally has to do with the group of technology that they want to bring forward and forth to us. That's kind of a quick summary for you, yeah. But there's a much deeper story that goes with it, so you do need to pay attention to that. So highly recommend, if you did miss it, you guys should go to the YouTube channel when this goes up. I'll post it tomorrow. It does take a little bit of time. Usually these are about 30 minutes to an hour or so, and then they get condensed, and it does take time to post. But it's good to see you guys. We got 29 people in here. You guys, smash that heart button for me. Let's get this shared out. It has been a minute since thank you guys. It has been a minute since I've been live. TikTok has definitely smashed some of my views, so I appreciate all of your help. Love you guys. Do I need to use my third eye to see it? Yes. you do. Thank you. Appreciate this. Yes, you do need to use your third eye. You need to use your ears. You need to pay attention. And you need to think outside of the box. I think that's mainly the biggest thing, is that we get conditioned to be put inside of a box, and we've been taught to learn and understand a specific way. But when you realize that there's bigger things out there, and everything, in my personal opinion, is not coincidence. If you see coincidences, it's not a coincidence. There is usually a meaning or a tie to this that I have learned from, that is telling us a bigger picture. So if you all of a sudden, yes, the sixth sense, exactly, Alyssa. If you feel like there might be more to a story, you gotta dig. That's my best opinion. Like, that's the best thing I can say. You just have to dig. And when you stumble upon it, it gets addicting and it'll change your life. It was 3 years ago specifically, when my TikTok channel just started to tick off. I caught on to something that I had to stop talking about on here for a little bit. And I caught on to something and I was like, oh my God. And I learned about this very specific thing, and I started to research it and learn it, and like, it blew my mind away, because it literally unlocks a level of like understanding. Essentially, that's the best way to put it. Can I live with you too? Yes. Accept my invite. Stop talking. UFOs around the world. I actually don't see your invite at the moment, my friend. I actually do not see it. Hold on. Where are you?